Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has held an emergency meeting after several European countries begun closing their borders to travellers from the United Kingdom on Sunday. It's after the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, warned that a new variant of COVID-19, which may be up to 70% more transmissible, has been getting out of control. France has closed its borders with the UK for 48 hours, even to lorries and ferries. European Union member states are due to meet in Brussels later to discuss a coordinated response, as most of the European countries, including Germany, Italy, the Netherlands and Ireland, have already announced restrictions on UK travel, while the governments of India and Russia have also limited travel to Britain. Meanwhile, post-Brexit trade talks have continued after negotiators failed to reach an agreement over the weekend. The UK and the EU have until the end of December to agree a trade deal, plus other points such as fishing rights. Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, has urged the Prime Minister to seek an extension to the transition period due to the recent crisis over the new strain of coronavirus that has forced the EU to close its borders to UK travellers. 2 men have been found guilty of the manslaughter of 39 Vietnamese migrants found dead in a lorry in the UK last year. The Vietnamese migrants, aged between 15 and 44, were found dead in the back of a trailer in Essex on October the 23rd. They had suffocated in sweltering temperatures in the airtight container as they tried to get to Britain. Following a 10-week trial, Romanian ringleader George Nica and lorry driver Eamon Harrison were found guilty today of 39 counts of manslaughter. After months of deadlock, the US Congress has found an agreement for a $900 billion stimulus package deal. Democrats and Republicans have said that the agreement for another round of pandemic aid will include direct payments to Americans, jobless benefits and funds for businesses and vaccine distribution. The deal will deliver the first significant infusion of federal dollars into the economy since April, after months of partisan gridlock that has stalled negotiations.
The American people wait for more emergency assistance ought to be over.
After months of trials, the distribution of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine has begun in the United States. The shipment of the vaccine started just 2 days after the Food and Drug Administration gave the authorization for emergency use. This is the second vaccine approved by the FDA that will reach the American public after the Pfizer-BioNTech one. The vaccine has proved to be 94% effective, and Moderna is expected to supply 20 million doses of its vaccine by the end of the month, and hundreds of millions of doses next year. A car bomb has killed at least 8 people and wounded more than 15 others in Kabul. It is the latest attack in the Afghan capital, as in recent months violence has surged across several provinces in the country. Interior Minister Masood Andarabi has said that the attack targeted Afghan lawmaker Khan Mohammed Wardak, who has survived the blast but is among the injured. No group has so far claimed responsibility. The man responsible for murdering 2 people after opening fire on a synagogue last year in eastern Germany has been sentenced to life in prison. The terrorist, identified as Stefan B., opened fire on a synagogue during last year's Jewish holy day of Yom Kippur. Prosecutors have said that the 28-year-old aimed to kill as many people as possible of the more than 50 worshippers inside. He has been charged with 2 counts of murder and multiple counts of attempted murder. Sudan and Ethiopia are set to start negotiations next week to reconfigure their shared border. The talks will be held on Tuesday, a week after Ethiopian forces reportedly ambushed and killed at least 4 Sudanese soldiers along the border. Sudanese Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok and Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed have said that the incident has not threatened the relationship between the 2 countries. A Chinese aircraft carrier and 4 other ships have sailed through the Taiwan Strait, forcing the country to mobilize its forces to monitor the convoy. The Shandong has been sailing towards the South China Sea, where China has made extensive territorial claims in the disputed waters. The ship's passage has come after rising tensions between China and Taiwan, which Beijing sees as part of its territory. The democratically ruled island has sent 6 warships and 8 military aircraft to monitor the Chinese ship's movements. And finally, a baby elephant has survived a crash with a motorcycle after receiving CPR. The accident, which occurred in Thailand, apparently left the baby elephant lifeless, lying on the road before a rescuer can be seen performing CPR on the animal and bringing it back to life. This group of people can be seen cheering after the elephant gets on its feet. The animal then walked away, supposedly injury-free, from the scene of the accident. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel studios in Lagos.